Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. This is Jeff, Fluent American, welcoming you back to the Schwa Mill, where every single Saturday at this time we help you craft your accent, study American English pronunciation to help you sound a little bit more natural. And welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the. When was the last time we streamed? Last time we streamed was the 31st. This is the first official Schwa Mill stream of the new year. Happy 2023 to everyone. I'm glad some people have found us from the original channel, which is great. So again, the Schwa Mill, we've moved to our own YouTube home. We just focus again on these American English pronunciation reviews. Just want to say hello to a couple of people. Good luck. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hello to Rick checking in. Good to see you. Manuel is here. Welcome back, sir. And Shok is here as well. Rick wants to know why for a delay. Sorry, I was just checking last minute audio files and things like that, making sure everything's also coming through nice and clear for you all. So what's going to happen today is we're going to take a look at pronunciation files that you send to me, and then we will give you pronunciation suggestions. And that's really how you should approach these. These are just suggestions. I think one of the beautiful things, but also the frustrating things about pronunciation is there's a million ways to do everything. So all I can give you is just my own suggestions for specific situations. In case you're joining us for the first time, though, well, first of all, please say, hey, if you are joining us for the first time, we like to have people being active and talking with us in the chats. That way I know that you're here. So as we talk about things, if you have a specific question about American English, whether it's about pronunciation, grammar, even vocab, any way that I can possibly help you, be sure to let me know. But I want to walk you through the steps for sending in your own pronunciation file. If you go to the video description, you're going to see that we mention a Google Doc. So I kind of want to walk you through the process. Hello to Accent's Way of an Indian Guy. Hey, I like the name. That's great. That's also a great picture, too. Thank you for joining us. Great to have you. Again, if you have some questions, please let me know. And I hope you send us a pronunciation file because we would love to hear from you. But basically, I'm directing you guys to this document right here. You can now see in the chat, or you will see in a moment. And again, you can also find this in the video description. This will lead you to our Google document. As you can see, this is our Google Doc. Rick, thank you so much for inviting him. I appreciate that. So in our Google Doc, what you're going to see here is that we have a bunch of people's names, decent amount of files today to get started. Our goal is to try to get through every single one of these. If you're also trying to send us pronunciation, then now is definitely a time to do it. The sooner, the better. Really can't emphasize that. But you're going to see there's a section to post your name. And then there's also a section where you can post a link. Everyone's using this site called Vocaroo. So what is this website about? Well, you go to Vocaroo in a moment, you're going to see this big fat red record button. You press it. You record with that stop button. It then is going to say save and share. You get a link right here. You take this link, you post it here. If you want me to know your name, you can put your name in here as well, and I'll be able to address you. If you want to stay anonymous, you can do that too. I recommend putting in the text of what you say, so that way I know exactly what you're saying. There are times, just due to audio issues, microphone issues, internet issues, but also occasionally pronunciation things can make it difficult to comprehend what's being said at times. So making sure you include the text is helpful for me to make sure I'm hearing what you're saying and I can give the most appropriate feedback. So I definitely encourage that. Once you do all that, you're done. You can sit back, watch the show, enjoy it, interact with people in the chat. As Emmanuel said, lots of files today, which is great. I agree. It is great. Yes, yes, yes. Always looking for more files. Always looking for more people. And I also encourage you, if you're watching on the replay, bounce around, look at different people's feedback. We try to leave timestamps. Also, if you're a type of person who prefers audio files, just want to also remind you that we do have a podcast, but many episodes are made into a podcast version, which you can find at fluentamerican.com/podcast. We have a little goal that we're trying to do. We're trying to reach 1,000 downloads in 1 month. Currently, we're a little bit less than half of that per month. So it'd be great if you could help me towards that goal. And you can see previous episodes here. So if you want to kind of listen on your drive or on your commute or when you're washing the dishes, we would love to join you in our audio version. With all of that said, I think that kind of wraps up everything on my end in terms of housekeeping. Let me know what you guys have been doing to celebrate 2023, or if you have a specific goal that you're trying to do. Let me know what your language goals are. Maybe you're trying to study pronunciation 5 minutes a day, or maybe you're trying to learn one new word a day. Or tell me what your pronunciation goals are. Again, one of our goals for this year, 2023, is trying to get to, again, 1,000 downloads a month. Also trying to grow the channel as much as we can. And by doing things like liking the video and watching as long as you can, those are all things that help get this video out to more people. All right. You guys ain't come here just to hear me babble. You guys came here to get some feedback. So let's jump right into the feedback portion of our stream. Oh, let me add myself there, right? Again, it's not little, it's more little.
The G host was class.
Are you feeling that here, or here? All right, you're going to see I put on my headphones and things, so I'll be able to hear everything. And yeah, I will share my audio so you guys will be able to hear me and also other people's files as well. Also, thanks to Riddick for saying the kind words. Appreciate that, my friend. Also, Junji's here. Hello, Orange. Great to see you. You sent us a file. Yes, you did send us a file. Great. I'm excited to hear what you got for us. All right, give me a moment to share my screen. One sec. And we are off. Okay, so again, this is the document. I'm actually going to make this a little smaller. Bounce it around all kinds of places. Here we go. Okay. So you can see up top I have different people going. Let's start off with just a real short one. So we got 2 seconds. Very, very short file to start with. Let's also doing my best as always. I always forget, but I try not to. The timestamps, we're currently at the 7:24 mark. And again, as we're going through the stream, let me know how many of these episodes of Schwab Mill have you seen? Has anyone seen more than Emmanuel? I think he's a record holder of like 60 episodes or something. Yes, timestamps, Emmanuel. Yes, I remember. Thank you. Okay, let's take a listen to this first file here.
I live in the U.S.
Okay, short and sweet.
I live in the U.S.
Okay, I'm guessing it says I live in the U.S. Okay, which looks like it would be this one. So again, just check that sound, and again we're on this. No, not that one. That was 2 seconds.
I live in the U.S. I live in the U.S.
Okay. Oh, thanks also to the purple scarf saying the kind words, saying I'm doing an amazing job. I hope so. I'm trying. I appreciate it. Did you send us an audio? I would love to hear it. But some suggestions again for this file here.
I live in the U.S.
Emmanuel says that he thinks he's hearing all in the U.S.
I live in the U.S.
I think I'm hearing I live, like I live in. So I think what's happening is that we're getting super reduced, which already, so we're seeing some people potentially getting confused. So how can we avoid this confusion to make sure people understand what we're saying? How can we add just a little bit more clarity to this? It sounds very reduced to me, which is great. I love reductions. I think it's something that a lot of people, when they're learning English, something that they are missing. But they can be a little bit tricky because if everything's too reduced, our whole sentence becomes mush, and we don't necessarily want that to happen. So here,
I live in the U.S. I live in the U.S.
Okay. The part that I think is coming through clearest is the in the U.S. So that's great. That's a really great sign because the in the U.S. part, I like that movement in the U.S. So you got the in the you hear those like 3 steps down, which is what you want. That's a great progression, and down. In the U, and then we're going up on the S because S is your stress. Rick asks us, aren't you recognizing my voice? I thought it was you. I wasn't entirely sure, but I was like, it sounds like Rick. Rick is a member of our Mission English program, which we'll talk about a little bit later, which you can also be a part of too. If you're trying to get feedback like this every single day of the week in classes. But we'll talk more about that soon. So I like that in the US part. I think that sounds great, which means that the I live part, I think we can strengthen.
I live in the U.S. I live in the U.S.
I live. So I think what's happening here is I think it's the short I sound on live.
I live in the U.S.
I live. I live. I live.
I live in the U.S.
I live. I live. I live. It's a small difference. I think we need a little bit more short I. Short I sound is going to be more again, like in sick or his. And I think if we were just maybe it's more it sounds to me like maybe the middle of your tongue might be a little too low. So maybe kind of lowering that. I mean raising that, excuse me. So again, more Something else that can help too is making sure the sides of your tongue are touching your top teeth. Okay, that can also kind of just help lift things slightly. It's like I live in the U.S. I live in the U.S. I live. I think potentially also having a slightly higher pitch on live would also add some contrast to make this easier to understand as well. So like I live in the U.S. I live in the U.S.
I live in the U.S.
Can you hear the difference there? It's like I live in the U.S.
I live in the U.S.
Because otherwise you're saying, oh, I live in the versus I live in this. So I think the key to getting this to just have an extra layer of clarity is just making sure that short I sound is a little bit more short I E. Because I think it's almost turning into like schwa E slightly. Okay. But besides that, again, the second half of this I think sounds great. I would just make that little tweak to that vowel, and I think that will have a pretty large impact in terms of getting this comprehensible for more people. And if you have any questions about that, be sure to let me know. But I think that kind of gets us on our first file. One down. And Rick does ask the question. Is it the or is it the? That's such a great question. You know, some people are like, they're like, oh, it depends on the vowel that follows the. You know, in some situations you'll say the, in some situations you'll say the. I think that, you know, in general, if you say the, you're adding a little bit of weight to that article and adding some stress, and that can make things sound a little choppy, right? If you say I live in the US, I live in the US, you know, you kind of it does make your sentence flow a little bit less nicely, I would say. So I would, in general, I think that the wants to be reduced unless it's something you want to add some extra emphasis to. So like I would keep it as the, it's like the US, and notice how that's going to link with you. It's like the you. So it's almost like you're adding a very slight Y sound between that E in the U. The you, the you, the you. So it's not the you, it's the you, the US. Okay. That would be my recommendation there. Good question. Appreciate that. Hi to my mom. Guys, my mom is here. I think she sent us a file too. Happy belated New Year's again, Mom. Thanks for joining us. And Emmanuel sends the same wishes, which is great. Be nice to my mom, people. She's my mom. Let's bounce to this file here. Moving on to our next one. Timestamps, people. Timestamps. Never forget your timestamps as I'm doing that. Like what you're hearing? Let us know by liking and subscribing. And accents waving. And you guys says, wishing a happy new year 2023 to everyone. Yes, and to you as well. Let me know, accents way. Tell us a little bit if you have a channel. Your name suggests you have a channel. Let us know a little bit about what your channel is doing and things like that if you'd like in the chat. Elchin has also made it. Hello to Elchin. Great to see you. Okay. Again, we're at 1341 for our next file. Our next file, again, I had a short one. Okay, so let's take a look at this one here.
If the wind will not serve, take to the oars.
That's actually man, I actually have this. I'm gonna give me 1 minute. I want to grab something really quick. As I'm grabbing this, I want to leave you just with a quick trailer. So one program that some people that you are seeing in the chat that they are members of is a group called Mission English. Mission English is basically a program where we meet for a live stream. Basically on Facebook, we have a private Facebook group. We meet Monday through Friday, twice a day. In fact, I can show you our schedule really quick And so this is all of our schedule now. So if you join Mission English, you can take part in every single one of these live streams. These are based on New York Times. And so again, you join Mission English, you pay one price for the month, and you can join all of these live streams. That means up to 40. Can't guarantee 40 every month, but at least 30. But up to 40 lessons per month for one price. It doesn't get much better than that. I kind of want to show you just a quick highlight, and then I'll be back and I want to show you something about this quote. All right, so give me 1 second. Ooh, ooh. Notice that for me, I'm not really having that ooh, ooh. And it doesn't sound exactly the same, like ooh and ooh, but they're close enough that for the speech that you're doing in daily life, it'll be okay. Really nice day.
Really nice day.
So what I'm hearing, so I heard really nice day. So what happened was you put day at a lower pitch. Really nice day.
Tooth loose.
Okay. I would say, I thought for the most part it sounded pretty good. I think there were a couple words that we do want to watch out for a little bit. Hey. Yeah, there you go. That last one's great. Okay, sorry about that. I had to navigate my camera and the lights. I knocked something over. It was a thing. But yeah, so it's like when I was a language center director, this is something I made. So basically, if you can read my horrible writing, it says, "When there is no wind, row," which is an old Latin quote. So Marcos, if you're here, I like your choice of quotes. I appreciate that. That's all I wanted to say. It was a lot of effort just to do that. I'm sorry. But if you guys do have questions about Mission English or things like that, we have several people who are members, and I'm sure they would love to tell you about their experience. Ooh, my camera totally got shifted. Where am I? On the side. Okay. Sorry about that. Like I said, I knocked something over. Elchin asked, can they send a file? Yes, you may send a file. Please do. We would love to have it. My goal is to try to get through everyone's. Other people, Elchin, yes, you can. Elchin can. Everyone's telling Elchin to send a file. That's because we want it. And other things going on. We do have a question from Orange. Question. Back to the pronunciation file. I have a question about this thing. That's the thing. I tried to say that week, but it's hard to reduce it. I completely skip it. Or to clearly say it. Can you do thing? Is that I think making smoothly. Okay, a question about that's the thing. Like saying that's the thing that, like trying to say that phrase. Let me know if I'm saying that wrong. But yeah, that's the thing that. I think if you're having a hard time saying that phrase, that's the thing that. Some things that may help. Again, assume I'm understanding the question right. That's the thing. It's like that's the. Something that may help is keeping the tip of your tongue down against your bottom front tooth when you say that. It's like that's the. So I'm just pressing the tip of my tongue there, because if you're saying that's the, like if your front of your tongue is flapping around too much, that can make things a little tricky for the consonants there. And I think it's also in terms of that phrase, like that's the thing, knowing which word you're trying to stress, because the different stresses will have different meanings. Like you say, like that's the thing, that has a slightly different meaning than like that's the thing. So paying attention to stress, identifying which one you want to emphasize more. So if you want to stress that's the thing. And again, it's key also doing like steps down in terms of your pitch. And if it's that's the thing, then you're just doing 2 steps down followed by that going up in pitch. It's like that's the thing. Okay. The other last thing I would recommend is just make sure that the vowel sounds are the emphasis. It's like eh. Those are your vowel sounds, right? It's like eh. It's like that's the thing. That's the thing. Or like that's the thing. That's the thing. So I think breaking into vowel sounds and then adding the consonants back in can also be a helpful tool for trying to get things to say. What I would say here is that clarification as that's the thing that I think. That's the thing that I think. So again, there's lots of different ways you could stress. I personally, if I'm saying that in like a general situation, if that even exists, I would stress that. That's the thing that I think. That's the thing that I think. So after that, everything is just going down. That's the thing that I think. That's the thing that I think. But if you want to stress think, then you would say, that's the thing that I think. that I think, and then you would do that higher pitch there. Okay. If there's other things in terms of rhythms or patterns that you'd like me to review with that, let me know. But hopefully that gets you started in some things. So you can model that. In the replay, we're at minute 20. So if you're trying to find this again, look up minute 2012 in the stream, and you can practice that. And he says that's the thing that I think, that before I think it's hard to reduce it. That's the thing that I think. It's like saying like that I think. It's like that I trying to use that like fast D sounds, like that I. You don't need to like that die. You're more that I. Okay. And if you use this in your pronunciation file, I'll be happy to take a look at that. Okay. Some questions that I missed as well, and I apologize for that. Also a question here. Are there themes for Mission English each time, like one day's lower pitch? I'll be honest, I don't go into the classes with a lesson plan or an agenda unless people have nothing that they have questions about. In general, people come to class and they're like, hey, I want to study this. Hey, I want to study this. And I'm like, cool, let's do it. So for instance, we've looked at stress, we've done shadowing videos. Sometimes we're working on vowel sounds, sometimes we're working on suffixes, like we've worked on like the bull sound, like unbelievable, comfortable, things like that. We've analyzed other English teachers, like non-native English teachers, kind of looking at how they're pronouncing things. We looked at movie trailers and like shouted them, talk about the reductions that occur. There's so many things that we can do. So there's a lot of different options. Jeff, do you teach standard American accent, quote unquote? Again, it's hard because, we get this idea that like it's quote unquote standard exists. Everyone has their own variation. I would say my speech is largely standard. There's some regional things just from growing up where I grew up, but in general, the way that I talk is the way you're going to hear across the U.S. in general. Okay. But again, the idea of a standard is kind of a tricky concept. Accents Way of an Indian guy says that he makes videos on how people of the Indian subcontinent and other Asian speakers can learn to speak English like native speakers. What a great! I appreciate that. That's great. I hope your channel is doing well. Thank you so much for stopping by again. Other things. Oh yeah. Do you have like rhythm, stress, and weekend list like a? I think when we're analyzing like native speaker speech, I think that's something that we do cover a lot, which again, we do in Mission English a decent amount of times, so I do think that also in terms of some videos that you might like on the channel or that you might be helpful. And if you give me a moment to share my screen. Hello to Edward. Things that you might find helpful. If it lets me share my screen. Sometimes we fight. StreamYard and I fight. It happens. Let me make this a little bigger so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So if you're particularly interested in like rhythm and things like that, American English compilation. One thing you might like, I have a workout for like the daily phrase workout. You might like this reduction exercise here. In addition to that, you might. I don't have it on my home. And if you look at two of those compilations, I have too many playlists. Fast answers. No. It's not these. Good game analysis. Not the workout. I have one that's like dedicated. Yeah, this one here. It's like stress in American English pronunciation. Sometimes we're looking at native speaker conversations and things like that. So I would check out that playlist. You might also like learn American English with movies and video games. You might like that as well. Some places to get started. Thank you for asking that. Emmanuel goes back to the original question for the sentence that we heard. Stressing things changes the meaning. Yes, it certainly can. Yeah. Anytime you should switch the stress on something, you're changing the meaning of things. Yep. Okay. And one last question, then we'll go back to original audio. I promise. Oh my God, getting flooded. I don't know if we're gonna be able to finish the audios today, guys. This is crazy. So really, guys. Hey Jeff, I feel I have a problem when I pronounce millionaire. Okay. That's actually a pretty common thing. We have a video that also talks about numbers that you might find helpful. So as I'm talking about this, I'm going to show you where the video is. Our British English is in Ireland. That's okay. So what I would say is that for millionaire, if you go to our videos, we have a video again talking about numbers, but so your first syllable is going to be a short I sound with a dark L, so it's going to sound like ill, ill. So that's the very first thing we need to kind of practice because that tends to be a tricky combination going from that I to a dark L. So like ill, 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 where the back of your tongue is high and the front of your tongue is down. Ill, ill. You're saying like ill, 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 ill. Those are not the things that we're going for. We're trying to keep the placement low with lots of breath moving through. Once you feel like you have that comfortably, what you can do is you can then move on to like alien. Oh, this is going to be difficult in terms of the surge. I have to think of another way to think that. But again, million, yen. So that's the next goal. So it's another short I sound, this time linking a short I sound to an N. So it's like N, 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 N. Okay. So make sure you're not saying in. It's not million. It's million, million. And then you're finishing with air. So for instance, that thing that's like floating all around us, air, air, air. Okay. Millionaire. The other thing to consider with that too is that for millionaire, the stress is on the first syllable, mill. So then the other two syllables you can make short, fast, and you don't want them to be very strong. Like millionaire, 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 millionaire. Okay, and that goes true for like billionaire or trillionaire and things like that as well. Unfortunately, I'm having some trouble finding the number video. Come on, search. Let me try one more. Here it is. Cool. So I went to the search over here. Zoom in so you can see that. So I went over here. I typed in number. This is the number we talk about saying things like millionaire and things like that in more detail there. Okay. Whew. Oh, is this the one I test recorded? Okay. Going back to a long time ago, we were looking at a pronunciation file for Marcos. We got heavy distracted. So now we're going to go back to that. Okay. A purple scarf. Look at this, man. Talk about some dedication. 12:20 in the morning. Still acting, listening to our teacher. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. I hope you're getting some value. Let me know, guys, if you are learning things, say yes. If you're not learning something, say no. But let me know in the chat how you're feeling. Let's take a listen to this file once more. I need to share my screen and my audio. Be just a second delay. Marcos, thanks for your patience. If you're watching this, you've been very, very patient. All because I just wanted to find this stupid little flat. Manuel says they're getting value. I appreciate you, man. You know that.
If the wind will not serve, take to the oars.
So strong. I think you read this really, really, really well. Okay. Let me see. It's like it sounds very dramatic.
If the wind will not serve.
If the wind, like it's just so like deep and powerful. Like if the wind will not serve. Imagine it's like a quote from like a movie or something. Very dramatic.
If the wind will not serve.
The wind will not serve. The wind will not serve. Wind will not serve. Something there sounds slightly different than what I would expect.
Wind will not serve.
If the wind will not serve. The wind will not serve.
If the wind will not serve.
The wind will not
take
serve.
to the oars.
Yeah, I can't identify the specific thing about the first half. That to me just sounds a little different than I was expecting.
If the wind will not serve.
If the wind will not serve. I think it's that you have opportunities in different places to potentially use higher pitches. Like on serve, like if the wind will not serve, something like that. Or you could do a wind, like if the wind will not serve, like something like that. So I would just kind of play around with them. That's not to say the way you're doing it is wrong. I think the way you're doing it works. Just kind of talk about
Take to
alternatives.
the oars.
Okay. The bigger thing is going to be at the end. Shok let me know that they're getting some value. Thank you, Miss. I appreciate that as always. I think the big thing here is that R sound in oars. See if you can listen to that.
Take to the oars.
Do the oars versus oars. Take to the oars. Take to the oars. So I think that the R sound to me sounds a little bit closed off in the throat. We're kind of blocking some air. It also sounds to me like the placement's a little high, like oars versus oars. You know what I often tell people about this R sound? It can be a tricky one. Is that when you're making this R in American English pronunciation, the way it's often taught is that, it's a very firm, strong sound, like but the reality is that it's actually in American English a relatively light sound. There's a lot of air coming through, so it's not it's more It's something for my Mission English people here. That's something that we talked about in yesterday's stream in the afternoon. In case you missed it, so you can watch that in the Mission English group. But with Emmanuel. I think that it's really important, again, with these R sounds to, instead of emphasizing the R, you want to emphasize the vowel around the R. So, for instance, in a word like oars, getting that O sound to be a little bit more dominant and that R sound to be a little bit weaker. So it's not oars, it's more oars, like or. I'll just kind of practice shifting between one to the other to try to get that O sound to take up more space and the R sound to take up less space. That's my big goal for you with that. Clear that again.
If the wind will not serve, take to the oars.
If the wind will not serve, take to the oars. Another thing you could do is, again, play around with pitches more. If the wind will not serve, take to the oars. Like, you could take that whole take to the part, even lower the pitch even more. Take to the oars. This is something like that, just to kind of separate things even further. But in general, I like that. People saying documentary voiceover and great narrator voice. True, all facts. Manuel says he still got that barking R. Let me know, guys, when you're saying, can you say R? And when you say R, do you sound like a dog? Do you sound like R? Or do you sound a little lighter and a little airier, like R? How are you sounding when you say R 3 times? Let me know in the chats. I am curious. Cool. Thank you, Marcos, again for sending that file. I appreciate you. 2-second file. Okay. Let's see what we got here.
Some of them, if enough people are saying it.
Well, this voice sounds a little familiar.
Some of them, if enough people are saying it.
This is a copy of me? Is this why Mr. Andrew? That's okay. We can analyze it. That's fine.
Some of them, if enough people are saying it. Some of them, if enough people are saying it.
So I think this is me. So basically saying this. Some of them, if enough people saying it. Touché. Play the audio again.
Some of them, if enough people are saying it.
One thing I want to highlight here. So you guys, assuming I believe this is me. I could be wrong, but I think it's me.
Some of them, if enough people are saying it.
One thing I want to kind of direct you to is pitches. So you guys are hearing me talk right now. So the way I'm talking right now, this is like my normal pitch range. This is how I'm talking if I'm just in a neutral situation and things like that. My mom's here. She can attest to that. She'll probably say, no, Jeff, you mumble more or you talk quieter. But in general, this is how I talk. But if you listen to this,
some of them, if enough people are saying it,
you're going to notice that the pitches start going really high. So I think this kind of highlights that, if your goal is to speak, natural American English pronunciation, then I think at some point we really do need to consider the pitches that we're using and increasing the range. Because one thing that you're going to hear with this, again, trying to timestamps, Jeff. Timestamps. One of the things is that in general, people are not using as wide a variety of pitches as they could. So again, this is my normal range, but when I'm saying this,
Some of them, if enough people are saying it,
like if enough people are saying it, you know, I don't remember the exact context and things like that. That would be much more helpful. But notice again how high that is and things like that. So what I would say is that
people are saying it.
you know, how often are you using higher pitches in your own speech? You know, one way to check yourself is do a quick scale, do like an E sound and like go down a couple times, like E, 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 E. Take that back up. E, 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 E. Take that up 5 times. E, 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 E. Can you take that 5 more times? E, 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 E. You know, so like, and how often are you using this full range? Because in general, in American English, you need to use more pitches than just like E, E, or like E, E. Like you need to, you know, instead of using like 3 or 4 pitches, trying to expand that 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 pitches, if you can. And that's another way you can immediately start sounding more natural. Okay, it's just a note on that. Rick asks, do I recognize my own voice? It depends what mood I'm in, I guess. Also depends on like quality of the microphone, internet issues, things like that. Plus, like, you know, if you're not expecting to hear your own voice and then someone plays it to you without like a visual, it's kind of like, wait, it's a little jarring. Not sure how often that happens to you guys. How often do people play audio of yourself to you without any context? What's this? This file's a second long. Okay. And then my mom is talking about some Shakespeare things. Okay. Thank you to my mom.
Why do you have like so many fruit?
Some very interesting files that we're getting through. I think a more common thing here would be so much fruit, but could be non-standard. In this file, again, we are at 37. Look at me doing timestamps, guys. Aren't you proud of me? Aren't you proud of me? Okay. I think this is a native speaker. Emmanuel suggests the same thing. Okay.
Why do you have like so many fruit?
So some things going on here.
Why do you have like so many fruit? Why do you have like so many fruit?
Okay. I would say some of the features of this kind of sound like an accent that's known as like a kind of like a Valley Girl accent. One of the features of a Valley Girl accent is people saying they're proud of me. Elchin's proud of me. Thank you, man. Man, was proud of me too, guys. I told myself I wouldn't cry today. I was like, today, not today, Jeff. Not today. No, we're not gonna cry today. We're not doing it. Not today. So
Why do you have like so many fruit?
One of the features again of a Valley Girl, quote unquote, accent is up talking, where basically you overuse the rising intonation. This is a information question. You know, so usually when you have questions starting with why or how or who, you would expect the last intonation at the end to be falling. But instead we're rising here. You can hear like fruit. She's not saying fruit. Like, why do you have so many fruit?
Fruit.
You hear fruit. Kind of like a fall rise almost.
So many fruit. Why do you have like so many fruit?
Fruit. Why do you have like so many fruit? Why do you have like so many fruit? You know, that sound. Again, that's up talking. So we're finishing with like a rising intonation there. So that's a feature that common in like California and things like that, but it is spreading across the country to a degree.
Why do you have like so?
Some other things here that I think are just interesting. Again, we talked about pitches, and again, super high pitches.
Why do you have like so?
Like what? Can't even. Oh God, I need some water before this. Real quick.
Like what you're hearing? Let us know by liking and subscribing.
Oh my gosh. Why do you have like so many fruit? Like, why do you have like so many fruit? Like, why do you have like? It's like, is it some pretty high pitches? Like, why do you have like?
Why do you have like
Why do you have like? Why do you have like?
so many fruit? Why do you have like
Why do you have like?
so many fruit?
And then that immediately drop down. So many. Like, why do you have like so many fruit? Like, something like that general movement.
Why do you have like so
But the key thing there is I think that can be fun to kind of play with and imitate just to try to practice again expanding your pitch range and trying to get the higher sounds. I think would be a good exercise, honestly. You don't have to use these features, you know, for instance, the uptalk to rising intonation, just kind of something to build on. R, hello R. Good to see you. R, I don't recognize you, at least I don't believe I do. So welcome to the stream. Let me know if you send a pronunciation file. And also let me know if you know where this is from. You can also let me know. Did you say this? Was it you? Is that why it sounds familiar? Can we post it on that? But if you guys have other questions about this specific audio file, be sure to let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to keep this train rolling. Oh my gosh, Emmanuel wants more of that. Maybe we can try to shadow that. Like, why do you have like so many fruit? Like, why do you have like so many fruit? And things. It's a long one. Let's do a longer file. So this one's 10 seconds. Let's see what we have here.
If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you hate the video, well, that's too bad. Give it a thumbs up anyways.
Yeah.
And I'll see you guys on the next one.
I mean, if you really don't like the stream, you can give it a thumbs down. That's okay. I won't be offended. I understand. But I appreciate that. Got a long audio file. Oh no, I did the wrong thing. This is what I wanted. R says thinks she's an Indian actress. If you think of the name, be sure to let us know. You might be able to put that whole thing into like Google or YouTube and see if it comes up with a hit. But thanks to Emmanuel for sending this file.
If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you hate the video, well, that's too bad. Give it a thumbs up anyways. And I'll see you guys on the next one.
Okay. There are some little stress things that I maybe would have done a little differently. I'll try to highlight those real fast.
If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure
enjoyed the video. Just watch out a little bit for that short I sound on vid. If you guys enjoyed the video,
be sure to
try to back up more.
If you guys enjoyed the video,
yeah, video versus video. Try to weaken the D sound. You can kind of go from that to the E sound a little more smoothly. Okay.
The video, be sure to give it a if you guys enjoyed the video,
okay, so just kind of compare how I'm linking that with yours.
Be sure to give it a thumbs up. Want to hear that?
Be sure to
enjoy the video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up.
Be sure to give it a thumbs up. Okay.
Enjoy the video.
Be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me see.
Enjoy the video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up.
Be sure to give it a. I think you had some options there to also include some lower pitches because you're kind of giving me some of the repetition of the pitches, like be sure to give it versus be sure to give it a. It's like just kind of gradually pulling it down as you were doing that reduction and things like that. I think you do have an opportunity there.
Be sure to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to give it a thumbs.
Be sure to give it a. So one of the things that you could also do is maybe add a stress on sure. You can go up on that a little bit just to add some more contrast. Like be sure to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to give it a thumbs up. Something like that. Just to add some contrast.
The video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up.
Be sure to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to give it a thumbs up. So just adding that higher pitch on sure, lower pitches on that to give it a. And then thumbs up, and then up is your next high pitch. It's like be sure to give it a thumbs up, just to add some contrast.
If you hate the video, well,
if you hate the video, well, let me hear hate the video.
Be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you hate the video,
if you hate the video, if you hate the video, if you hate the video, if you hate the video.
If you hate the video,
I'm kind of like I think this sounds fine. I think another option could be slightly lower pitch on video because it's almost like competing with the pitch of hate, like hate the video versus hate the video. If you hate the video, just something like that, again, to add more contrast. But I don't think that the way you did it sounds unnatural. Just kind of talk about another option.
Hate the video. Well,
again, like we saw at the earlier video, I do think you can make the D sound just a little weaker.
well, that's too bad.
Well, that's too bad. Well, that's too bad. I personally would have done like a heavy falling intonation there. That's just me.
Well, that's too bad. That's too bad.
Instead, that's too bad. I would do, well, that's too bad. If you hate the video, if you hate the video, well, that's too bad. Kind of a sharper falling intonation on bad.
It's too bad. Give it a thumbs up anyways.
Give it a thumbs up anyways. Give it a thumbs up anyways. Give it a thumbs up anyways.
Thumbs up anyways.
A thumbs up anyways. I think that for anyways,
And give it a thumbs up anyways.
give it a thumbs up anyways. Give it a thumbs up anyways. Give it a thumbs up anyways. So one thing with anyways, I would have done stress that N sound anyways and go higher pitch. Give it a thumbs up anyways. Well, that's too bad. Well, that's too bad. Give it a thumbs up anyways. Give it a thumbs up anyways. I think in that case, it's very common for anyways to get the stress there. So giving that higher pitch there is going to help.
Thumbs up anyways. And I'll see you guys on the next one.
So you guys probably in the next one instead of on, just a note for prepositions.
See you guys on the next one.
See you guys in the next one. See you guys in the next one.
And I'll see you guys on the next one.
See you guys in the next one. See you guys in the next one. Another option too is that I think higher pitch next. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll see you guys in the next one. So something like that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay. So hopefully those things about stress and everything makes sense. I thought Riddick made an interesting comment. I'll take a look at the comments. I know I've not been paying attention to that recently. I will check those in a minute once we're finished. But Riddick mentions here not getting emotions from this audio. Okay, so I think that the way it's being said right now, and this kind of goes back to all the things I mentioned too, is that I think about if you stress the things that I recommended, I think that's going to help this sound a little bit more emotive. It's going to convey a little bit more emotion. I think the way you're saying it right now kind of sounds very like objective, neutral.
If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you hate the video, well, that's too bad. Give it a thumbs up anyways. And I'll see you guys on the next one.
It's fine. Like in terms of like, again, just kind of like a neutral emotion and things like that. Context is always helpful. So let's imagine, for instance, that, you're trying to convey a little bit more energy and excitement in like you're doing a live stream and like it's the end of your stream and you're signing off, but you're still like, trying to convey a little bit more energy. Then I think you'll have some opportunities with those stresses again I identified to just kind of amp up the energy level, get things sounding a little bit stronger. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Versus like if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up.
If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up.
Again, kind of muted in terms of the emotion level, right?
If you hate the video, well,
if you hate the video, and I think, I would go heavy on hate there because you're contrasting this with enjoyed, right? These sentences are working together. So it's like, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you hate the video, so now, enjoyed, hate. So like, it just, it just adds more contrast between those emotion levels and things. If you go heavier on hate.
That's too bad.
Well, that's too bad. If you hate the video, well, that's too bad. Things like that. Pitch can also be used, to convey a little bit more emotion, a little more humor, and things that could be helpful.
Too bad. Give it a thumbs up anyways.
That's too bad. Give it a thumbs up anyways.
And I'll see you guys on the next one.
I'll see you guys in the next one. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Like something like that. You can play around with the stresses and the pitches just to make this, add some spice. Right now it feels kind of like I'm eating chicken and the chicken tastes good. But, if I start adding, some like pepper and like a little bit more salt to it, maybe some paprika, now we're talking about stuff that, this is, starting to add some flavor to this, starting to be like yum yum in the tum tum, yeah, thank you so much for sending that. Let me know if anything there is not clear. Okay. Going back to the previous audio file, people are naming actresses. I'm going to totally butcher this name, and my apologies, but Shraddha Kapoor. Okay, doing an American accent. That would also kind of explain, if she is not a native speaker, kind of going through it, and maybe she is a native speaker, I don't know. But again, with the fruit, there was an issue with the fruit. Kind of being a little bit unusual, like so many fruit. Why do you have like so many fruit? Like that's weird with the many. You would do like so much fruit. Like, why do you have so much fruit? But I don't know. Other questions. Edward asks,
Question.
is anyways correct? Or better said, acceptable? Like anyway or anyways? Is that what the question is? Anyway versus anyways? Also appreciate Riddick saying like, y'all, thank you. And it says their D's were too strong. My mom goes back to this debate. Edward, I hear many folks saying anyways, but I think it's more appropriate to say anyway. Younger folks tend to be less formal. I think you'll hear anyway or anyways. I don't want to say I think they're largely interchangeable. That's something I would need to do more research on. Honestly, I don't have a great answer. Do not have a great answer for that. Anyway, I like if I'm in a discussion and I'm trying to change topic, like well, anyways, I would probably use anyways with the Z sound personally in that sort of situation, like changing topic. I feel like anyway a lot of times is used as an adjective in a situation like this. Well, I couldn't have gone there anyway. I think in that sort of situation where it's kind of tacked on at the end, modifying what came before it, I think in that case, anyway is more common without the Z. But I think if it's again uses almost like a filler word to just change topic, I think the Z sound would be more common, personally. Okay, Mayos, thanks us for the feedback. Yeah, so guys, if you're enjoying this, let me know in the chat. Be like, hey, I learned this. Tell me one thing you've learned so far in the chat, because I'd be certainly very curious to know that. Also, like maybe you're interested in other opportunities to work with me. There's so many ways to do that. Just kind of highlight some things. If you're in a situation right now where you're like kind of strapped for cash, money is a concern, totally got you. I mean, that's the whole reason why we have this show, the Schwa Mill. That's why we have all our channels. We have the Fluent American main channel, but we also have this Schwa Mill channel, and we also have the shadowing channel. So all of our YouTube channel videos are completely free, but from there, there's different price points and things like that too. If you can afford $5 a month, then maybe you want to be in our Telegram group. Just to let you know about our Telegram group. It's basically if you go to patreon.com/fluentamerican or fluentamerican.com in Telegram, which is an app kind of like WhatsApp. Every single day, I post a group of words to say, and you can reply with your own audio, and I give you feedback. And we have another teacher named Lenora. She's great. I worked with her for years. One of the first teachers I hired when I was a director. And she's also giving you feedback too. So that's something that you may want to consider. So again, that's $5 a month to get you access. Besides that, we also have Mission English. So Mission English, again, is our live stream program. All of these times that you see here, we live stream for 30 minutes. That's right, 2 live streams a day. So for instance, you can choose time zone that works for you. So for instance, if Monday, 1:30 p.m. New York works for you, cool. Well, we do that again on Tuesday, and we do that on Friday. Or maybe that 8 p.m. on Monday works for you. We will do 8 p.m. again on Wednesday, and we do that again on Thursday. So, you can pick the times that work for you. Maybe all of these times work for you. Okay, well, come to them all. That's fine. All of the streams are saved in our are saved in the group. So you can already watch, if you sign up for Mission English today, you automatically get access to like 100 classes because they're all saved on Facebook. So you can just watch like 100 lessons already. And each one of them is very different. It's also great too, because the last thing I'll say about Mission English before moving on is that for Mission English, it's so valuable because you hear people talk and you hear the feedback I give them, and you can notice the difference because you're like, oh yeah, I heard them say this, and this is what Jeff said, and that makes sense, and I can hear the difference. Because a lot of times, if it's just you and you talk, you don't actually know what you say. Like you say something, I say, "Oh, you need to make this change." And you tell me to my face like, "Oh, okay." But then in your head, you're like, "I didn't say that though, Jeff. I said it like you. I said exactly the same." And then you listen to the recording, you're like, "Oh, wow, that was me. I said that. That doesn't even sound like me." So in Mission English, though, you hear the feedback immediately and you hear the other person immediately. So you can kind of piece together what's happening a little bit faster. And it's also just more fun because, we're joking around and, and stuff like that. It doesn't really feel like a class. It feels kind of like a conversation where we just kind of discuss pronunciation things. We can also do things in Mission English I can't do on the channel. Like we can look at movies and stuff like that and analyze it. So that's just another opportunity. And then for those who still prefer like one-on-one classes, we have those as well. All of this is available if you go to fluentamerican.com. All of this and more. Sure to check that out. Emmanuel notes that people say anywho. Yeah, a little bit less formal. And I think it kind of depends. Not everyone's saying that, but some people do say that. That's true. Okay. People saying they're enjoying it. My mom's enjoying this. Just trying to make mom happy. That's great. Accent Soy saying they're enjoying this as well. That's great. Cool. Okay. Other things going on. Let me see. Oh, Emmanuel saying that they were shadowing for that previous audio file. Makes sense. Okay. Other things going on. Again, fluentamerica.com. Anywho. Yeah, it's something that you will hear. It's not as frequent as anyways. Not everyone's going to say anywho. Okay. Let me move on to our next file. Sharing screen, sharing audio. We are here. Okay. Got a long file here. Let us take a look. We are at 56. You guys have just to keep you posted. You have spent 56 minutes of your Saturday. Your Saturday. It's your Saturday. Maybe even your Sunday. For some of these people. Just looking at American English pronunciation. That is wild. Completely wild. Okay, 56. 18 seconds.
I love the songs that make you happy. I love the jokes that make you funny. I learn how to make you smile. I need your powers to stand up high.
All right. Shug always has that dramatic reverb going on.
I love the songs that make you happy.
Okay. That makes, just watch out for that. I love the sun that makes you happy. Makes you happy. So there's lots of ways you can link that too. You could say makes you. You could also use like a sh sound just to like makes you, or makes you. Either one of those is fine. It's like I love the sun that makes you happy.
I love the songs that make you happy.
Lots of I really like your vowel sounds here. I love you. The schwa sounds are great. So that sound that we see on love, I love the sun that makes you happy.
I love the songs that make you happy.
The sound on ha, and then the finishing on that e sound. We spent some time in Mission English looking at final e sounds because that tends to be tricky. A lot of people are saying like like happy, versus like happy. Do you hear the difference there on the e? So I like what you're doing there. That's great.
I love the jokes that make you funny.
Again, funny. I really like. Love again. I do think jokes. Let's listen to that O sound.
I love the jokes.
Jokes. I do think your placement kind of goes up a little higher, and the breath kind of closes off a bit on that O sound on jokes. So it jokes, more jokes. I love the jokes. I love the jokes.
Love the jokes that make you funny.
But besides that, I think it sounds good. Lots of breath coming through. Great.
I learn how to make you smile.
Almost kind of getting almost like Harley Quinn kind of vibes a little bit.
I learn how to make you smile.
I like your IL sound. So again, the I is a vowel that it's considered a long vowel. So what that means is when you have a long vowel, First of all, long vowel does not mean that you hold it longer. Some people hear like long vowel, short vowel. They're like, oh, long vowels, I'll just do really long. And then short vowels, I'll do short. But it doesn't work like that. It's just a name. Okay, it's just a name. All vowels in general in American English, you want to be as long as possible. So for smile, when you have what's called a long vowel and you put an L after it, it's usually going to be joined by an sound. So it's not smile, it's smile, smile. You see, it's in other words too, like fool, fool, or like pool, or like sail, sail, or for instance, oil, oil. So these are all examples of what are considered long vowels when you add an L after them. So there's just something you want to be making sure you're doing in those cases. So I like what's happening here with smile. I think it sounds good. Just a note there.
To make you smile. I need your powers to stand up high.
High, high. I was getting like some like vocal fry territory. If you're not sure what a vocal fry is, because like high, it's like that. Compare like I versus I, high, high.
Learn how to make you smile. I need your powers to stand up high.
Stand high versus like stand high. I'm not critiquing a vocal fry if that's something that you're choosing to do in your speech. That is a trend, again, more common among female speakers of American English. Not every female speaker of American English does this, but it is something that is growing. It is a pronunciation trend that is increasing in the U.S., spreading from the west to the east, slowly but surely.
Make you smile. I need your powers.
I need your power. It's like just a quick note about linking. You can say need your, that's fine. A lot of times what's going to happen instead is that D is going to soften into a just sound. So I said need your, more need your, I need your power. So just a note there.
To make you smile. I need your powers to stand up high.
To stand high versus stand high. To stand high. I need your power to stand high.
I love the sun that make you happy.
I love the sun that makes you happy.
I love the jokes that make you funny.
I love the jokes that make you funny.
I learn how to make you smile.
I learn how to make you smile.
I need your powers to stand up high.
I need your power to stand high. You know, like people commenting on jokes voice. My mom saying it's upbeat, it's positive, schwa sounds good, enunciation is good. Okay. Learned that sound, the D at the end. Yes, yes. Purple Scar saying, what a voice, because horror movie vibes. That's the thing, like a very good, like kind of like acting things. One of the things that is nice about this is that every single section is very unique. You know, every thought group is kind of at a different, is doing something different.
I love the sun that make you happy.
Okay, so like I love sun that makes you happy. So like that's kind of like that's our neutral. That's kind of our midpoint.
I love the jokes that make you funny.
Just adding that funny, so like spunky. I love the jokes that make you funny. So like now we're taking it slightly higher.
I learn how to make you smile.
And then we go up another bit. Like I learn how to make you smile. So now we're doing each little thought group is doing something different.
I need your powers to stand up high.
And then we go back down. You know, so with some great movements there. That's very interesting about the horror movie vibes. Yeah, because the fact that each section sounds so different, I think is kind of lending it. It makes it seem, I don't want to say like unstable, but there's kind of there's a quality to it that kind of like puts you on edge a little bit because it keeps shifting and the highs go really high and then the lows are going lower. So as a listener, it kind of unbalances you to a degree. I like it. We talked earlier about some of the files, you know, trying to add emotion, but I think a lot is conveyed here, which is great. So thanks to Choke. Some quick things, see if I missed. Riddick asks, Jeff, I know you're going to cook today, maybe tomorrow. What's your plan? Good question. I have pasta in the fridge. I probably need to finish, in all honesty. I'm a simple man. I could eat pasta or rice or just a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day, and that's fine. What about you guys? What are you guys cooking today? Let me know. What are you guys cooking? I know for many of you it's dinner time or fourth meal if you guys eat at midnight. All right, what's next? We got this file here. Riddick saying it's not fair. We should go with the first one. You want to go in direct order and things like that. I get that. I'm sorry. I do like to bounce around, but I totally understand. If you post it first and you're like, Jeff, you didn't do me first. I'm sorry. That's just not me. I like to shake things up. Keep everyone keep you on your toes. You never know who's going to be next. You never know. 105.35. Man says he's hungry. Man, you have not eaten my pasta. So before you say you're hungry, just you'd be like, yeah, I'll pass on that one, Jeff. You don't. I'll run to the store and get something on my own. I don't think I'm a bad cook. I think I'm okay. Let's see what we got here.
I've been working on the American accent skills for the past 4 years.
Okay. Speaking of the first file, here we go. The first one. Okay. I don't recognize this voice. So thank you for sending this file. By the way, guys, I always have to ask if this is your first time here, or if you're lurking and you haven't said anything the entire stream, this is the time to say hello. Be like, hi, Jeff. You can disappear again right after that, but I just want to know you're here. Or if you're watching this on the replay or listening to this on the replay, again, because maybe you're listening to the podcast version, I would strongly encourage you to, leave a comment, leave a review, or just say, hey, I saw what you did. It was cool. Or it was not cool, however you felt about it. Okay, moving on to our audio again. Here's the file.
I've been working on the American accent skills for the past 4 years.
Okay, so there's a great level of clarity to this, which is wonderful. I understand everything you're saying. I think in general, vowel sounds are okay. Okay. Other people saying they need to eat. Riddick needs to eat. My mom says I make some good gnocchi. I do what I can. I think. So I can tell that you've been working on your accent, your pronunciation. You're spending a lot of time focusing on it. But I also think that that focus, that concentration to make everything sound really, really clear is actually the same thing that is giving you a relatively noticeable accent from a North American English point of view, because everything is so focused and concentrated and clear. And if you listen to native speakers talk, that's actually kind of the opposite of what native speakers are doing.
I've been working on the American.
So what's happening is your consonant sounds are very heavy. And because your consonant sounds are heavy, what that is doing is causing your breath to always stop. I've been working on the American.
I've been working on the American.
I've been working on the American versus I've been working on the American. I've been working on the American. Do you hear the difference between I've been working on the American and I've been working on the American? The biggest difference between mine and yours is going to be mine is always going to be smoother because I'm not focusing on the consonant sounds. I'm focusing on the vowel sounds. So instead of saying I've been working, I'm saying I've been working. I've been working. It's like I've been working. I'm making my consonant sound so much weaker. Versus if I do been working, I've been working. Do you hear that difference? So now that's me focusing on the consonant sounds, and it's a completely different rhythm, right? So my very big suggestion is let's get the shift. Let's shift from consonant-based sounds to vowel-based sounds across words. That's going to be my very first but very large recommendation. Once you are able to achieve that more, once you're focusing more on the vowel sounds, this is also going to help join things together, because we're really going to try to keep the breath moving from one sound to the next. So again, if I focus on vowels, it's like notice I'm just going from one vowel to the next without stopping the breath in between. I've been working, 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 things like that.
I've been working on the American accent.
Watch out a little bit for accent.
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 The American accent. On the American accent.
It's like accent, 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 accent. You hear a difference between and It's like an I would just pull the lips a little bit more, just a little tenser. Trying to get the corners of the lips, almost like you're smiling. Because it's not it's more You see, it's like cat, had, apple, So just watch out a little bit for that sound.
American accent skills.
Skills.
For the
here's skills again.
American accent skills.
Skills. We talked a little bit earlier about the short I sound linking with a dark L. So start off just with an I. Okay, this is your, again, short I sound. So some tips for the short I. The back of your tongue is down, the sides of your tongue touching your top teeth. Middle of your tongue's a little high, front of your tongue is down. And again, the goal is like get like an I. Okay? Like is, like sick, or this. I'll just try to practice. You can practice doing that vowel into words like sick, this, is. Just kind of practicing that, getting that sound to be a little stronger. Okay. Linking that to a dark L can be tricky. So again, like L. Because when you shift from the to the L, what's going to happen is the back of your tongue is going to jump up a little bit. L. And I don't know if you can see that. Let me make my face a little bit bigger. Look at my big head. Okay, it's like L. One of the things that you're seeing is when I'm adding that dark L, my mouth is closing very slightly because my lower lip rises. L. Okay, as the back of my tongue goes higher. So that's kind of something else. It's like L. Practice that transition, and then as you get comfortable with that, you can add the rest of the words like L skills, L skills, L skills, L skills, L skills. So just kind of practicing that. Okay.
Skills for the past 4 years.
Okay. For the past 4 years. For the past 4
Past
years.
4 years.
Past 4 years. Past 4 years. Okay. For the past 4 years. So again, kind of heavy stresses on all of those words.
For the past 4 years.
Past 4 years. Past 4 years. I think a lot of times when you have a T at the end of a word, very often it's held. So instead of past 4, like past 4, past 4. So notice you're not hearing past 4, more past 4. So just another note about linking there. The very last thing I'll say about this, again, the level of clarity here is good. The vowel sounds, I think, are clear. Aside from like the sound and the short I with the L, I don't have a whole lot to say about them. Stress and pitch, because right now you're kind of giving me maybe like 3 pitches.
I've been working on the American accent skill.
So it's like I've been working on the American. So like you're stuck in this very kind of confined range. You're giving me maybe like 3-4 pitches. Okay. Versus if you said something like this, like, I've been working on the American accent. I've been working on the American accent. Or I've been working on the American accent. I've been working on the American accent. So what I'm doing is I'm using a wider range of pitches. Where I'm going higher, I've been working on the American accent. Or if I'm going lower, I've been working on the American accent. So in the second case, I'm using more lower pitches. In that first case, I'm using more higher pitches. Whatever you decide to use, fine. But instead of using, 3 or 4 pitches, can you give me like 5, 6, 7 pitches? And this paired with the more reductions and things like that is going to really help things stand out even more and really pop.
Accent skills for the past 4 years.
Yeah, because right now every single word is kind of getting stressed. So using more reductions, using more linking, more pitches, and I think that you'd be, even relatively quickly, be pretty amazed at the changes that you could do. All right, hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions about anything I just said, be sure to let me know. But thank you so much for sending the file. I hope you send more in the future. It was great having you. We do appreciate that. I know I've been absent from the chat for a moment, so just want to kind of step in there, kind of see what's going on. What have you guys been doing without me here? Gnocchi. Oh, so that was access way. Cool. Great. Let me know if anything there isn't clear. Hope that is helpful. To Shok. Okay. I was mentioning linking. Yeah, we tried to talk about some of the things related to linking. I'm not familiar with Rabdi, actually. Does Riddick describe what that is? No. What is this dessert? I'm usually more of a salt kind of person, but I can do sweets sometimes. Milk and a lot of dry fruits. Not necessarily the biggest milk fan, but I'm always down for trying things. Okay. Riddick also mentioned his articulation. Yeah, we try to talk about some of that stress and consonant sounds, which I think lend to that. Very understandable and clear. Yes, definitely. 100%. Okay. This all makes sense. Shok is an actress. Look at this. It is paying off. You're doing great things. To not only apply what you're using, to another language. I mean, that's such a great thing. That's great. So Beta is here. Happy 2023. Hope you're doing well, staying safe. Thanks. Okay, I see 2 files from our original group. Give me a moment. Let's take a look at theirs. Here's our file.
We're in the middle of a recession, but their business is booming right now. There's several explanations for that. One is that the service they offer can't be matched by anybody else in the market.
Okay. Joke says their goal is to be excellent in Toastmasters. Go for that. You should be leading your own chapter. You're doing great. Doing some great things. Timestamps, people. We're at 117. Okay, this is our file. Once more.
We're in the middle of a recession, but their business is booming right now. There's several explanations for that. One is that the service they offer can't be matched by anybody else in the market.
Okay, so some things for this file, what I would recommend.
We're in the middle of a recession, but their business is booming right now.
I think my big comment, kind of just, hearing a lot of your file sycamore, like here in a Telegram group. I want you to continue playing around with conveying emotion and things like that. Because again, it's just everything's sounding very neutral, which again is fine. Nothing wrong neutral. But I think we can make things pop even more if you wanted.
We're in the middle of a recession, but their business is booming right now.
Business is booming right now. There's some great opportunities, to go high. We're in the middle of a recession, but their business is booming Their business is booming right now. I think something like that could work pretty effectively. We're in the middle of a recession, but their business is booming right now.
We're in the middle of a recession.
We're in the middle. You also have some opportunities for linking there. So a lot of times when you have something that happens a lot, you don't have to do this, but just something that does occur is instead of in the, a lot of times that th sound might actually disappear and you kind of just repeat the ends. We're in the middle of a recession. We're in the middle of a recession right now.
We're in the middle of a recession.
Kind of going earlier, just kind of like what we mentioned for Emmanuel's file too, I believe. The D sound, your fast D sound is kind of heavy. It's middle. We're in the middle
of a recession. We're in the middle of a recession.
We're in the middle,
but their business is booming right. We're in the middle of.
I would even say on middle again. I'm sorry, Sigor. I feel like I say this a lot to you. Short I sounds. Again, I feel like I'm hearing me versus meh. So watch out for that. And what I would also say is, again, with fast D sounds, it's a tricky concept. So using middle as our example here. So if you're not familiar with it, a fast D sound is when the letter T basically becomes more like a D sound that's pronounced very quickly. That's why I call it a fast D or a flap T, because you just flap it. And the difficulty with it is that there's so many different ways you can pronounce it, because you can do a heavier D sound. Like you can say middle, where you're getting pretty heavy contact with your tongue and your ridge or the top of your mouth. And that's fine. But I think the reality is that when you hear native speakers do it, you hear a much wider variety. It's not always going to be that strong. Sometimes the tongue doesn't actually even need to make contact with the top of the mouth. It just needs to rise and go down fast, like middle. We're in the middle of a recession. This is especially true if the word that you're saying is not stressed. So in this case, we're in the middle of a recession. Recession is your stressed word. So I think that, I mean, middle is not your stress word. Recession is your stress word, right? So middle of a recession. So you can go faster with it. You can really weaken that fast D sound. Just kind of raise and lower the back of the tongue very, very fast. You don't need to make contact with anything. And see if you can achieve like middle. So we're in the middle of a, it almost comes like one word. We're in the middle of a recession. So it's just kind of something to consider for that fast D sound. Doesn't have to be so firm. It can be. Again, there's nothing wrong if it is firm, but just something to play around with.
We're in the middle of a recession, but
Recession. Yeah, good. We're in the middle of a
we're in
recession.
the middle of a recession, but
We're in the middle of a recession, but so I also kind of want to talk about thought groups. Thought groups, if you're not sure what a thought group is, it's basically a group of words that go together in a sentence, usually indicated by a pause. So right now, your thought group is ending at recession.
we're in the middle of a recession, but
Do you hear that pause there between recession and but? So the thought group is ending there.
we're in the middle of a recession, but
Okay. Play around with thought groups, because a lot of times the way students or English learners are doing it is a thought group is ending very predictably. You say subject, verb, object, pause, subject, verb, object, pause. Or if you see a period, pause. Or if you see a comma, pause. But the reality is when you listen to native speakers talk, it's not that predictable. So for instance, compare how you're saying it to how I'm going to say it. I'm going to put the thought group on after but, and I want you to see if you can hear the difference.
we're in the middle of a recession, but
We're in the middle of a recession, but can you hear that difference? We're in the middle of a recession, but
we're in the middle of a recession, but
so what that's going to do by shifting where you're putting the thought group, it's just going to kind of allow you to connect things more, and it's going to allow you to kind of flow, and it's going to feel more linked.
we're in the middle of a recession, but their business is.
I would also consider a rising intonation on recession, but, or like a fall rise, recession, but. Okay. Could also have a lower pitch on but.
Recession, but their
Instead of recession, but like recession, but.
business is booming right now. Recession, but their business is booming right now.
Also in business, that first syllable, a little bit bees versus bez. So again, a little bit of short I, business.
There's several explanations for that.
There's several explanations for that. There's several explanations for that.
There's several explanations for that.
Several explanations. There's several explanations for that. There's several explanations for that. Several explanations for that. Several explanations for that. Several explanations. I personally would probably stress several, not explanations. There's several explanations for that.
There's several explanations for that. Why is that the service they offer can't be matched by anybody else in the market?
Again, you have that kind of end stopped thought groups ending on for that.
Why
pause.
is that the service they offer?
It's like there are several explanations for that. One is that the service, so that's kind of where your thought group is. But it could have kept going. There's several explanations for that. One is that, or like there's several explanations. There's several explanations for that. One is that the service. Another strategy that you're going to hear to kind of link things together is repetition of words. Like there's no explanations for that. One is that, it's like kind of just repeating the word that you used in the last thought group, the last word, and then repeating it again. That's another strategy you'll hear native speakers doing a decent amount.
Why is that the service they offer can be
Want to hear offer?
is that the service they offer?
Offer. Can you get a little bit more breath on that ah sound? One is that the service they offer.
Why is that the service they offer?
What is that the service they offer? What is that the service they offer? So you're putting stress on offer. Cool. Verbs can receive stress, but I think very often verbs don't actually get the stress. Oftentimes, instead, what will get stress is actually like the noun, like the subject in this case. Well, one is that the service they offer. So I would the service they offer can't be matched by anyone else in the market. One is that the service they offer can't be matched by anyone else in the market. Like something like that. Like I think that that stress on what is that? The service they offer. I would put the stress on service, not on offer. What is that? The service they offer.
Why is that the service they offer can't be matched by anybody else in the market?
Can't be matched by anyone else in the market.
Why is that the service they offer can't be matched by anybody else in
The service they offer can't be matched. So again, what we're seeing too is the thought groups here. I'm finding a little bit distracting because the pauses are a little long and there's not linking between. It's okay to have a thought group, but maybe we can join them together, holding your last sound of a thought group longer. So to give you an example of that,
explanations for that? Why is that the service they offer can't be matched?
Get it? Offer can't be versus like offer can't be matched. What is that? The service they offer can't be matched. You just notice I'm just holding that sound if I'm putting the thought group there. So just holding the last sound of a thought group a little long to help with linking.
Matched by anybody else in the market.
By anybody else in the market. Can't be matched by anybody else in the market. I would also consider stressing anybody instead of the market, but by anybody else in the market. The service they offer can't be matched by anybody else in the market. It just adds a little bit more emphasis and it makes it sound like whatever services that they have is better than everybody else's. Can't be matched by anybody else in the market. It just adds a little bit more emotion. Okay. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. That's a lot of feedback there. Sycamore, if you have comments, feel free to leave something in the replay, or if you're in the chat, you can leave it too, or in the Telegram group or whatever. But thank you so much for sending this. We always do appreciate it. My chat's getting a little crazy. You guys are talking about vegetarian things. Oh my gosh. My wife does a whole foods plant-based diet. So no, basically pretty much everything she eats has to be grown from the ground pretty much. And she likes it. Next up. Timestamps. That's why I was like, why am I looking at this one screen? And in case you're just joining us, actually, I guess while I'm here, welcome. This is the Schwa Mill, where our goal is every single Saturday to help you craft your accent. And basically, we're taking a look at pronunciation files that people send us where they're using American English, and we're giving suggestions. Things like linking, stress, breath, placement. All of these things are considerations we take a look at with people's files. And more, of course. So if you have a question about English, about grammar, about vocab, about life, about 2023, you can let us know in the chat. Taking a look at everything. Edward asked, does your wife eat organic food? Yeah, she does. I wouldn't say like every single thing she gets from the store is organic, but she's certainly not opposed to buying organic things. I think it depends on the product too, because some organic stuff is just so expensive. Let me see. Oh, okay, so again, we're at about 117. So new files coming in at 128. Let me know, guys, if this is your first time in the stream. Always looking for our newcomers. If you're a lurker, if you are lurking, now is the time to show yourself. You can hide yourself afterwards, I promise. But I just want to know that you're here. Say hey. Okay. Last original file. My God. We are plowing through, making our way. This file here.
Hi, everyone. Wishing you all a safe, healthy, and happy new year.
Do you have New Year's resolutions? My resolution is to stop worrying and enjoy living.
Okay. It's my mom. It's my mom. She sent us some nice well wishes.
Hi.
I really like the toaster. Ding.
Hi, everyone. Wishing you all a safe, healthy, and happy New Year. Do you have New Year's resolutions? My resolution is to stop worrying and enjoy living.
Okay. What's there to say? I want to stay on good terms with my mom, so I'm just going to highlight some things that may be helpful for you. Let's identify what words is she stressing. So I'm going to play this file 2 times, and I want you guys to tell us which words do you hear being stressed. Maybe I'll play it 3 times. So again, your job is to find out where are the stressed words.
Hi, everyone. Wishing you all a safe, healthy, and happy New Year. Do you have New Year's resolutions? My resolution is to stop worrying and enjoy living.
Okay, what are some stress words you're hearing? You can put them in the chat. We'll talk about it in a moment.
Hi, everyone. Wishing you all a safe, healthy, and happy New Year. Do you have New Year's resolutions? My resolution is to stop worrying and enjoy living.
Okay. All right, one more. And again, where are the stressed words?
Hi, everyone. Wishing you all a safe, healthy, and happy New Year. Do you have New Year's resolutions? My resolution is to stop worrying and enjoy living.
Okay. By the way, if you're studying short I sounds, the way she's saying living can be very helpful. Listen to all the breath.
Stop worrying and enjoy living.
Yeah, living. Just a lot of breath coming through there. Yeah. Almost kind of getting into vocal fry territory.
Stop worrying and enjoy living.
Yeah, living. You can kind of start hearing the vocal fry slightly. But yeah, stressed words. Where are the stresses?
Hi, everyone.
It's kind of stress on 1.
Wishing you all a safe, healthy, and happy New Year.
Wishing you all.
Hi, everyone. Wishing you all a safe, healthy, and happy.
Wishing you all safe.
Hi, everyone. Wishing you all a safe,
Maybe do safe.
healthy, and happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And Happy New Year. Stress on new. That's what I'm hearing.
Do you have New Year's resolutions?
Do you have New Year's resolutions?
New Year. Do you have New Year's resolutions? A safe, healthy, and happy New Year. Do you have New Year's resolutions?
Do you have New Year's resolutions? I'll probably do new again.
My resolution is to stop worrying.
My resolution. Stress on my.
My resolution is to stop worrying.
Stop worrying. Stop.
And enjoy living.
Enjoy living.
Resolutions. My resolution is to stop worrying and enjoy living.
Enjoy living. I'd probably do living. That's where I would put stresses, personally. Okay, you can play that back and see which ones I said. This is a subjective exercise. Don't view the things I say as 100% correct answers or things like that. Just kind of, I think it's more just kind of start building that awareness of, stress exists. People use it in their speech. Seeing if you can start identifying it for yourself. That's the big exercise, I think. Okay, but thanks to my mom for sending that. We appreciate it. You can compare my stresses with the manuals there. Thank you for playing around with me, Emmanuel. Appreciate it. Okay. Dum. We did that. Junji, did we do yours? Just want to double check, make sure we did this one.
That's the thing. I think you might be making Max a little nervous.
Okay, I think we kind of talked about that. We can go back and talk really quick, see if there's anything we missed. But besides that, I'm seeing 2 additional files. So Mia, thank you for sending this file. Rick also making some comments. Okay. Liking the sound. Feels very friendly. Feels very connected to it. Aw, people connecting with my mom. And some other Elchin's file. Okay, guys, I'm going to close our document. Well, not completely because I want to do some timestamp things, but these will be the last couple files we'll take a look at. Let's start here.
That's the thing I think you might be making Max a little nervous. That's the thing I think you might be making Max a little nervous.
Okay. Orange, if you're here still, Ginger, if you're here, some guidance again on the last part.
That's the things I think you might.
That's the things I think. I think what's happening for that part, and this is something that we mentioned, I think you're kind of giving me the same pitch over and over again. Like, that's the things I think versus that's the things I think. So, like, playing around with the pitches, or that's the things I think. You know, I think one of those patterns, like that's the things I think, or that's the things I think, one of those patterns is going to, I think, really help a lot with adding some clarity to your speech. Because right now it's all kind of, you're giving me the same pitches over and over again, which can make comprehension a little bit more difficult.
That's the things I think you might be making Max a little nervous.
The last part I'm getting a little bit confused on.
Things I think you might be making Max a little nervous.
I think you might be making.
Things I think you might be making Max a little nervous.
After making.
I think you might be making Max a little nervous.
Mark's a little number. I wish we had the text. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have the text. I might have to skip the rest of this. That ending to me is not entirely clear. Let's talk about why I'm having some trouble.
I think you might be making Max a little nervous.
Max a little numbers. It almost sounds like number, like something a little numbers.
You're making Max a little nervous. Max a little nervous.
This is the part that is really throwing me from.
Making Max a little nervous.
Max a little. This part here.
Making Max a little nervous.
That's definitely the section I'm having a hard time with.
Making Max a little nervous.
Max a little numbers. So again, my big suggestion would be, again, more contrast, because I think that Max a little, can we get something a little lower and a little higher on the syllables, like some going a little higher, some a little lower. And I think that contrast would be super helpful in terms of clarity. And I would also help that beginning part as well. I apologize for not being able to give the best feedback for that last little quarter of the audio. Okay. Emmanuel also saying it's a little bit tricky. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the next one. We did get some feedback for a previous one a little earlier in the stream too. What's our time? Timestamps. By the way, guys, if you want to help me with the stream, take a look at this.
Like what you're hearing? Let us know by liking and subscribing.
We are at minute 137. Winding down. 2 files left. Nothing from the singer. 1st and 10. Just kidding. We're at 137. I'll say like. Okay. Press the button. I didn't mean to. Everything's going crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay.
You're doing an amazing job. I learn lots of things from you each and every single day.
Oh,
God bless you.
this is such a sweet. If it's like not just like a random like message, just like I want to practice saying this, but like actually directed to the stream, I appreciate that. Watch this, like, nah, I'm just trying to say this like to my boss or something like that. But if it is for the stream, I appreciate that. Thank you. Also, lots of breath coming through.
You're doing an amazing job. I learn lots of things from you each and every single day. May God bless you.
Okay, I do have some vowel things I wanted to kind of identify.
You're doing an amazing job.
Okay, you're doing an amazing job. I like what you're doing with amazing. Okay, Great. Pitch change, super heavy stress. Great.
You're doing an amazing job.
And what that does by going heavy on amazing, so if you stress it, what happens here? Amazing job, amazing job. Normally in English, you would expect the stress to be on job, because if you have an adjective and a noun, usually the stress is on the noun. Okay, like blue car, nice day. But when you shift it, when you put the stress on the adjective, that makes the adjective sound even more exaggerated, more emphasized. Okay, so that is a great great strategy. Anytime you're trying to really put extra emphasis on the adjective, that is a great way to do it.
Amazing job.
I would recommend amazing job.
I learned lots of things from.
I'm gonna go back to job.
You're doing an amazing job.
I almost feel like amazing job, amazing job. It sounds like almost we're doing like a je. This is that je sound you see like in words like leisure or like pleasure. But we need something a little firmer. We need more je, like an amazing job, amazing job, amazing job. So let's get that je sound just a little firmer. What you can also do is raise the tip of your tongue for contact, make slightly firmer contact, because it could be that the tip of your tongue is slightly too low and it's making your j become like a fricative, so it becomes more like sh versus it's like j, da, j, j. Like when I say j, I have contact against my ridge, my alveolar ridge with the front of my tongue. But when I say j, it's the middle of my tongue making contact instead. It's just a note there.
Amazing job. I learned lots of things from you.
I learned lots of things from you. I learned lots of things from you.
Amazing job. I learned lots of things.
I learned lots of things. You could even go higher pitch on lots. You could go even higher, in all honesty. I learned lots of amazing things from you. Okay?
I learned lots of things from you each and every single day. Lots of things from you.
I do like to stress on lots. I do like it. I just would emphasize even more.
Each and every single day.
I want to hear that every single day part again.
Each and every single day.
Each and every single
Every single day.
Every single day. So it sounds like you're kind of making this punchy, like every word there is kind of getting stressed, which is fine. If that's something that you want to emphasize, dumb, every single one of those words. Cool. I'm for it.
Each and every single day.
Each and every single day. Like I learn lots of things from you. Each and every single day. Each and every single day.
Each and every single day.
Each and every single day.
Every single day.
Day. Kind of a rising intonation there, which is fine. It works. Rising intonation as a tool is helpful at the ends of sentences because it makes things sound softer, a little friendlier. Okay. The more standard thing that you would have expected with this is a falling intonation each and every single day. Each and every single day. Okay.
Single day.
But that's not to say that what you're doing is wrong. It does sound like the placement kind of rises a bit at the end of day, like day versus day. Just a note. But that's not necessarily a problem. Just something to be aware of.
May God bless you.
That's where am I?
May God bless you.
God versus God. So almost it could be some British English influence there. In American English or North America, you're going to hear that pronounced more like God with the ah sound. So say God, more God. Just a little bit more open there. May God bless you.
May God bless you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. May God bless you. Yeah, bless you is probably more common. I'm thinking you could reduce it with like bless you, may God bless you. But bless you is also fine with just maintaining the S. Besides all that,
you're doing an amazing job. I learn lots of things from you each and every single day.
Lots of things. There's a little part there.
Lots of things from you.
Lots of things. Lots of things. I would say keep the pitch also lower and low because like lots of things. I learned lots of things from you versus lots of things from you. That's just gonna be a more regular pattern. It's not as common you go kind of like high, low. It's more high, low. It's like lots of things from you. I said lots of things from you, more lots of things from you. Just very minor note. But besides all that, things I really like here, lots of breath, keeping things very open, which is great.
You're doing an amazing job.
The stress words really coming off so clearly. and really conveying emotion. This does not sound flat, which is great. So that's a huge thing. Like the emotion is controlled, but we're still allowing things to kind of come through and add some personality, which is not an easy thing to do. Lots of great stuff there. Thanks so much for sending it. We got some kind things there as well. I know I saw earlier. Mom says, "What a pretty voice." Indeed, that's such a pretty voice. And whole side conversations going on. Purple Scarf says, "Thank you for corrections. Thank you for sending the file. Please send more for next stream." Edward asks, "Has American English been influenced by Irish English? Both are rhotic opposed to non-rhotic British English." I mean, there was a time when there were so many Irish immigrants to the U.S. You know, if you ever look up like Boston accents and things like that, you might like Boston, New York, even Philadelphia. You know, look at like accents from there. Yeah, I imagine there were some Irish influences on the language. But that's a great question. I'm not technically a linguist. It's not my background. So I would definitely want to defer to people who've studied that history more. Unfortunately, I wish I could give you a better answer. But it is a good one. All right, this is the last file that I have, guys. Are you ready? Let me know in the chat. Are you ready for our last file? You guys got this. You ready for this? I don't know if I am.
Hi, Jeff, and everybody in the comment section.
Ouch.
What I usually do is to write a script, record my voice while I'm reading that sentence, and then I send it as a file. But today I just decided to speak randomly and ask you for feedback on that.
Oh, man.
Thank you, man, for your work.
So you send a file saying that you're going to send a file. And that's your file. Saying this is how I'm going to talk and give me feedback on it. Okay. Cool. Mom says she's ready. Cool. Let's hit this. Okay, we'll bring in smaller parts.
Hi, Jeff, and everybody in the comment section.
Okay. I want to hear everybody in the comment section part again.
Jeff and everybody in the comment.
Everybody in the. Everybody. Okay. Exactly. Cool. People are ready. Mom's ready. Shoka's ready. Cool. Appreciate you guys.
Hi, Jeff, and everybody in the.
I feel like buddy, everybody. I do feel like you're watch out for that schwa sound. So it's not body. It's more buddy, everybody, and everybody in the comment section.
Hi, Jeff, and everybody in the comment section.
Okay. I do like how you're saying section. Comment section.
In the comment section.
Section. I like that in sound. Good. In the comment section. You also use a rising intonation on section, which standard practice would say you would do a falling intonation there, but I like the rising intonation because that implies that you're not done talking. You're gonna give us some more information. So I'm okay with that. Comment section.
Comment section. What I usually do is to write a.
I want you to listen to do.
Comment section. What I usually do is.
Like what I usually do versus what I usually do. What I usually do is so watch out a little bit for that ooh sound. So it's not ooh, it's more ooh. Try and get that placement a little lower, a little bit more breath. What I usually do.
Comment section. What I usually do is to.
What I usually do. You could even go higher pitch on usually. Like what I usually do. Like especially like if you're trying to show contrast between what you usually do and what you don't usually do, then one thing you can do to emphasize that more is going higher in pitch on the usually. What I usually do. So that could be one option there. Just to note, what I usually do.
Section. What I usually do is to write a script.
What I usually do is write a script. You don't need the two. Just to note. What I usually do is write a script. You don't need the two. Just to note.
What I usually do is to write a script. Record my voice. What I usually do is to write a script. Record my voice.
We talked about this earlier. One option between thought groups is instead of having a pause, write a script. Record my voice. Write a script. Record my voice. It's something like that. Just holding a sound, like write a script, or record my voice, like maybe even holding the Like what I usually do is write a script, record my voice, something like that. Just kind of fill that space.
My voice while I'm reading that sentence.
While I'm reading that sentence.
While I'm reading that sentence.
While I'm write a script, record my voice while I'm reading that sentence. It sounds like you're stressing reading, but then you stress sentence.
While I'm reading that sentence.
Record my voice. All right, let me hear it again.
Record my voice while I'm reading that sentence.
Reading that sentence while I'm reading that sentence. I would either have a lower pitch on reading or a lower pitch on sentence while I'm record my voice while I'm reading that sentence, or record my voice while I'm reading that sentence. Something like that. Like reading that sentence or reading that sentence. One of those patterns is something I would probably recommend there.
Record my voice while I'm reading that sentence. Do is to write a script, record my voice while I'm reading that sentence, and then
I like your sentence that held sound, held T before the N sentence.
Record my voice while I'm reading that sentence.
Good.
And then I send it as a file. But reading that sentence, and then I send it as a file.
And then I send it. And then I send it. You're kind of doing that pitch, right? And then I send versus and then I send it. And then I send it. Like something like that, again, is just going to help you kind of flow a little bit more.
Reading that sentence, and then I send it as a file. But today I just decided to speak randomly and ask you. But today I just decided to speak randomly. And
I like the second. This is probably the part that you're really flowing the most.
Then I send it as a file.
And then I send it as a file. And then I send it as a file.
That sentence, and then I send it as a file. But today I just decided to speak randomly. And
but today I just decided to speak randomly. And this is the moment where it feels kind of the most natural to me, because you're just going from one word to the next. The breath is flowing. Everything's linked.
And then I send it as a file. But today I just decided to speak randomly and ask you for.
And ask you. So now you're doing that technique. You just speak randomly and ask you. So like again, holding that final sound. It just helps things link more.
Feedback on that. So thank you, man. To speak randomly and ask you for feedback on that.
Feedback. Hold the E sound. It's like feedback. So again, the key sounds are your vowels against like feedback, feedback. So just trying to really get those vowels to stand out a little bit more, because like the feed, that E was a little bit too fast. Send feedback.
Ask you for feedback on that. So thank you, man, for your work.
Thank you, Elchin. Thank you for your work.
Thank you for feedback on that. So thank you, man, for your work.
Thank you, man. First, thank you, man. It could open up that vowel a little bit and say thank you, man. Thank you, man.
So thank you, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Hold that. Thank you, man. You could also have a lower pitch on that.
Back on that. So thank you, man, for your work.
Mm-hmm. So just some notes there. Elshin also asks, question. Do you see improvement in the breath? Let's see.
Hi, Jeff, and everybody in the comment section.
Breath and placement. Oh, Riddick also earlier asked, I feel like he's touching his lower teeth with his lower lips when his lower teeth with his lower lips when you pronounce it. Everybody. Lower teeth with lower. It's like this lip against lower tooth. Like this. I don't know. Hang on. Can you see me? Like, am I doing it right here? Lower tooth against lower lip, like right, like that, like grandpa. Not sure I fully. Okay, but let's listen to everybody again.
Hi, Jeff, and everybody in the comment section.
Everybody. Maybe that's related to the schwa sound thing that I noted. So trying to get that schwa sound to kind of stand out a little more, which we mentioned earlier. I think again, if you're asking about breath, I think the breath in this first opening is pretty strong.
Hi, Jeff, and everybody in the comment section.
Yeah, I think a lot of breaths come in there.
What I usually do is to write.
We talked about do. That is a verb where things tensed up a little bit and went a little high, and the breath got a little bit restricted.
Record my voice while I'm reading that sentence.
Again, a little inconsistent. Record my voice while I'm reading that sentence. I think that might be a good little section to kind of kind of say to yourself a little bit, see if you can open things up and keep the placement a little lower, because it does sound a little tighter to some of the other sounds.
Record my voice while I'm reading that sentence.
Like record my voice while I'm reading. I'll practice that part. Record my voice
while I'm reading that sentence. Script. Record my voice while I'm reading that sentence.
Sentence I think sounds good. Record my voice while I'm reading, because I think voice, like voice.
Reading that sentence. Record my voice.
Record my voice. Record my voice. I think that voice sounds could be a little bit more breath
while
if you want
I'm reading that sentence, and then I send it as a file. But
that sounded pretty open to me. I like that.
Today I just decided to speak randomly and ask you for feedback on that.
Yeah, I think again the most of this I think sounds pretty open. Pay attention to all those times where I identified vowels. A lot of times when I'm identifying those vowels, those are the areas where I think the placement is a little high and the breath gets a little bit restricted, in all honesty, and things. But yeah, I think in general, improvement on breath. We're getting the vowel sounds to stand out more, much more than where we started, which is great. Continue to do that. Sometimes we're having some little lapses, like we see again on feedback, But yeah, that's just some things there. I'm going to check through the document just to make sure I'm not missing any questions. But thank you for sending that file, Elshin. Always good to see you. Thank you also for kind words. That's very sweet of you. Also to Riddick. Okay. Anything else I'm missing? I think that's okay. All right, just looking through the documents. Questions. Did, didn't, can, can't, does, doesn't. Okay, so someone's asking really quick about how to pronounce these. Question. Okay, so I'm just going to say these really quick. So we're basically comparing a held T versus no T at all. It's like did, didn't, can, can't, does, doesn't. Again, did, didn't, can, can't, does, doesn't. Now you can play that again in case you're curious about that. We're at minute 1:56:31. That's where you want to look at that in the stream. If you're watching this on the replay, and that's where we did that exercise on those words. Does anyone else have a question I missed? It looks to be the only one. All right. Whew. Well. You guys, we've done it again. You have spent about 2 hours of your Saturday studying American English pronunciation. Did you guys think you'd be doing this like 5 years ago? Like, yeah, Saturdays I'm going to be looking at American English. What? With this random dude. This thing called the Schwa Mill. Crafting accents. My mom says she's proud of me. Stop it, guys. I said I wouldn't cry today. I said I wouldn't cry. I'll cry after. Just some quick reminders. Again, we have lots of opportunities. If you're finding this helpful, but you want to get some feedback, once a week for 2 hours is not enough during the live stream. No, you want more personalized, because I'm only giving you, that's one sentence that you sent me or whatever. You want more. Well, we have lots more. Okay, and it all depends on what your price point is. If now's not the best time, it's a difficult time financially, totally got you. That's why we got the channel. That's why we do this. If you got $5 a month, that's our Telegram group. Every single day, we can give you some corrections. You got $30 a month, that's the price of like one pronunciation class, or like people have whole courses that cost even more than that. But with this, you're getting access to a stream, 2 streams a day, Monday through Friday. You're not going to find a better deal than that. We look at your pronunciation together in a group. And group classes, in my opinion, are even more effective than one-on-one classes. And then if you are looking for one-on-one classes, though, we got you covered in that too. All of those things are available again at fluentamerican.com. It'd be great to work with you even more directly. Let's see. Riddick says it's 2 a.m. I appreciate you being here, man. I appreciate it. No, it's the grind. My mom asked, "Do you feel okay? You look tired." Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good. Thank you. Elgin says, "Come on, man. We have to tell her thank you. I appreciate you." Emmanuel says, "Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Emmanuel." Riddick wants me to sing just for a few seconds. I can't. You're asking me this saying like I've just been talking for 2 hours with like 1 cup of water. Denny wasn't even here to remind me to drink this cup. Wasn't even here. I'd do it on my own. I'm sorry. I'm not a singer, folks. I'm sorry. I'm not a singer. The closest thing I can get you to that would be something I don't actually have. Singer, if you're out there, just let you know, singer. Yeah, I'm talking to you directly. We still have this for you.
Hey everyone, it's Jeff.
All my troubles seem so far.
Okay, alright.
I don't actually have a file from him. I'm just trying to get him to send us another file. I'm sorry. Thanks to my mom for joining us. Thanks to all of you for joining us. Again, if you're watching on the replay, let us know. You like #replay. Great to see it. Keep an eye out. Tomorrow we'll have a video, or maybe even later today, we'll have a new video up on the Shadowing channel. And then we'll have a new video up for the Fluent American main channel in a couple days is my goal. Thank you guys so much. I can't do any of this without you. And I will see you in a future stream. Hope you guys have a good day. Have a good night. Good afternoon. Thank you for crafting your accent with us here in the Schwa Mill. And we'll see you next time. Bye.